Well, welcome back. For those of you who just are showing up now, you can always watch what you've already missed. But you can go back and watch that if you'd like to. For those that have been here all day, thank you so much. It's halfway through now, I believe, so we're off to a really good start, which is exciting. We now have David here from our support department, and his project actually hit as soon as he said storage, shop storage, it went off in the chat. Like obviously you guys have some pretty messy shops out there, so David's project certainly will help you out, that's for sure.
Yes, so David, welcome to our live. And again, thank you for your awesome project. We thought it would be nice to do a little Q&A with you, a little bit about your projects, a little bit about you. And so, how long have you been at Vectric for, and what's your day-to-day like here?
I'm on the technical support team, and I've been with them about 6 years, coming up to 6 years now. So,
nice.
Yeah, hopefully spoken to a good few of you over the years.
Yeah, probably a lot of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully solved a lot of their problems too. Yeah. This is a big project, so it's quite evident that you did a little bit of planning ahead of time. What's your workflow for this sort of thing before you actually get into the software?
Yeah, so I like to do a bit of background research on existing products, like the IKEA SCADIS boards.
Right. Yes. Okay.
So
Right.
that was kind of the starting point, and then just pen and paper really, sketching out ideas.
Nice.
It just helps me to get my thoughts in order before going into the software.
Yeah.
So.
Good stuff.
Yeah, now I love start together projects, and I know you've done one before, haven't you?
Yeah, I did one a few Christmases ago, just a tiny little slot together. But it was only a decorative project, so tolerances and things weren't important. They weren't structural.
Right.
And this is obviously like on a totally different scale to what you did before.
Yeah.
It's quite nice, and we use it here, which is great, which is really good.
And as like you've done more of a upscaled project, do you have any tips for anyone who's starting out with a slot together project?
Yeah, definitely. So a few of the things along the way that I should have done at the beginning is just always keep in mind the tolerances and the different materials, how that's going to affect the cutting directions as well. So the difference between climbing conventional and making changes based on the tooling and materials used.
Testing is key to those sorts of projects.
Yeah, you always are telling me that I just need to test stuff before I do it. I know. It's a terrible habit I have. So interesting use of the keyhole gadget. So when I think of the keyhole, using a keyhole, I think of putting it in the back of like a frame that you can, or a photo thing that actually the keyhole's in the back of whatever you're mounting, but you took a totally different sort of direction, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think with tools like that, it's good to realise that they can be transferable. So just think about the actual overall shapes rather than the intended application.
Right,
how you can adapt.
I love that for sure. Good.
So what was your favourite part of this project?
It's got to be the actual cutting of the keyholes actually.
Yeah.
And the physical slotting everything together. It's just satisfying.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just watching how quickly it just goes through the process.
Right. Exactly.
There were a fair few, and I cut down on the full board. But
that's right. Yeah.
Really quick.
The gadgets. Now we've heard a lot about gadgets from you, and then also in Kyle's. Can you tell us a little bit if you're interested in creating a gadget, or how do they get made to start with, and then if you want to create your own, do we have any resources out there for these guys to work on them?
We do, yeah. So there's a gadget section on the website.
Okay.
And there's a developer page where you can find the full software development kit.
Okay.
So you do need to have prior programming experience, and it's written in Lua.
Right. Okay.
We don't actually directly support the creation of gadgets, but there's a really lively community on the Vectric forum.
Oh, right. Yeah.
On the gadgets page where you can find tips and people that are willing to help with getting you to the point of creating your own gadgets.
And gadgets are great for like doing things that like little things or steps, repetitive steps over and over again to help you get the end result, which is a nice thing, for sure. Yeah, well done.
So in your projects, you cut shadow foam, which none of us have ever cut before.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for cutting foam?
Yeah, so like you said, I've never done it before, so and this is my first project with it. but some of the things that I found are using a fresh sharp tool, down-cut end mills to preserve the top edge, because otherwise you get fraying.
Right.
And conventional cutting direction as well. So
Right.
I found the climb cutting direction, it was just tearing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting the way you could peel apart the layers in that foam. I thought that was kind of a neat.
Yeah.
It was just interesting. It came out so easy. Well, kind of easy. You had to kind of dig at it, but it did come out pretty good in the end. Yeah.
Yeah, you do have to give it it depends on the exact shape, but that's the benefit of that shadow foam is that you only have to do the cutout and then you just peel away the layers.
Yeah, like as long as you get those depths right, then it all kind of works out.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Now, you had also done one of my favorite things, and I'll talk about it a little bit again tomorrow, about how you can use a printout to line up your holes in the back of your... Now, in the software, how would you go about doing something like that at actual size? So you mentioned make sure you print it at actual size.
Yeah. So you do have to make sure that, depending on the print package that you're using, you deselect fit to page, make sure it's in 1:1 scale. And also, if you first export it as PDF from our software, and then into print package, because if you just file print from our software, it just essentially takes a capture of the 2D view.
Right.
So it's difficult to get the correct scale.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that you can print your project out at 1:1, which is really handy for all kinds of different uses. And I'll mention a few of those tomorrow too during my thing.
Yes. Now, if I had VCarve Desktop, can I cut this project?
It is a pro-only project. You could, so for the functional part of the backing board and the caddy, you could do it in Cut 2D Pro.
Right.
So it's only the decorative V-carving that I've used V-carve Pro, but it is a pro project because of the gadgets and the size.
Yeah.
And you nest it.
And the nesting,
Yeah. I love the way that you customized it with obviously our Vectric V, and then you've also included in your package or your files those sketches that you did of the fish and so on. I think that's a nice way to kind of get people to kind of think about how they can make this their own and put their own shop, adding logos and so on.
Yeah, that was it. I've just included that as just quick design ideas, just to show that it doesn't have to have one set application. It's modular, you can use it for whatever.
I secretly like the barbecue one. Yeah, I like that a lot.
The beer cutout.
Yeah, well, I didn't say that, but the tongs, definitely the tongs. It wasn't the beer, what are you talking about? It was the tongs.
David, out of all of the projects that you made on a CNC, what's been your favourite so far?
So far, I'd probably have to say the Dart project, the Dart box project, because I actually use it. But with this being a practical project as well, I'll probably switch to this one if I use it more.
Dart box is a practical project?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Around here, wow, definitely, that's for sure, yeah.
And that's actually one of the free monthly projects.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so you can download that and make it yourself if you want to. And I helped David with that a little bit, and it was a lot of fun to do. And I can't play darts to save my life, but it was no. But it was a lot of fun to be part of that. So it's really good, yeah. Out of all the features in the software, pick one of your favorites. Tell us why.
I'd probably go for the texture toolpath.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I don't think it's because it's probably not as showy as some of them, but some of the results that you can get with the complex architectural texture panels.
Yeah. It's one of those ones that you can use to do a lot of different things with textures in the back of signs or at the top of dart boxes or all kind, or like you said, big nice panels. And I always say when we go away to trade shows that you can take a chunk of MDF and you can triple the price of it just because you're cutting with a big old ball nose and some nice really cool textures. It definitely you can make some money with that.
Yeah, I love textures. So tell us about projects that you'd like to make in the future.
I've got a fair few ideas. I think
it's your list.
The one that's been a long time coming is probably a pedal board for guitar effects pedals.
Yeah.
So that'd be
So David plays in the band.
Off of this.
Awesome. And then finally, David, for any viewers out there that are just getting started with Vectric software, or you're thinking about getting Vectric software in a CNC, what's one piece of advice you would give someone who's just starting up now?
One piece of advice.
Or maybe two.
I think
We've got time.
as it's been touched on a few times today actually, but always having a ground in real life, real physical space, and relating everything to real dimensions. So I've found like the first few projects I cut, you can be a bit anxious about running a file, not wanting to see the machine run off in unexpected directions.
Yeah.
So actually drawing out your workspace, like physically
Yeah, that's a good idea.
sketching
Yeah,
it out
sure,
can really help.
Write on your material before you start.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Good idea. Really good idea. Yeah. I know. We do that quite often. We're trying to figure out if we're trying to nail a spot on a piece of material right on the money, to draw it out and to know exactly where it's going to be is really, really quite helpful. Yeah. You don't want to end up cutting it in half. It be not even there, which has never happened to me ever. Anyway, yeah.
That stop checklist is growing.
That's right. Exactly.
Oh, thank you so much, David.
That's
Your
great,
project was really awesome.
Thanks very much.
And
Thanks for
I'm
having me.
sure lots of our users will be taking a look at that and sorting their shops out.
Definitely. Let's hope so. Yeah.
Some
Exactly.
nice stories.
We want to see pictures of those
Get
crane
more of
shops. Yeah, exactly. That's right.
Oh, thank you, David.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man.
Okay.
Thank you so much. That's
Thank
great.
you. Oh, that was awesome.
That was really good. That was great.
It was. And then after David, we also had Kyle's session on rotary machining. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you know who Kyle is. He's the brains behind Learn Your CNC, which is a platform, a community space where people learn how to use Vectric software. And so if you're in need of a bit of extra help, we highly recommend that you go and check that out. We've dropped the link in Kyle's description in our speaker section on the website. And I really loved all of the ways that Kyle showed how you can create a mallet from using 2.5D toolpaths to 3D models. And like Kyle touches on in his demonstration, you know, your rotary attachment opens up so many more options than just a lathe. Obviously, you can do so much with the lathe. You can't V-carve onto it, you can't add textures and that sort of thing.
Exactly, that's right, yeah. And I love the way that Kyle thinks the same way that I do, and same with David, that when, and I'm sure you do the same thing, that you look at a name of a tool, it's called the molding toolpath. Well, it's not just necessarily made for molding, right? You can actually make a mallet, or we have another free project that's available to you, which is this candlestick, which was made the same way that that Kyle made his mallet, and this is just a molding toolpath wrapped around a dowel, and it's amazing that what you can do with it. So even if you have VCarve Desktop or Pro, you can still do rotary stuff and come up with your own 3D designs, which is really nice.
Absolutely. We also saw that Kyle actually used one tool, the same tool for the clearance and finishing, which is a really nice tip, and obviously it saves on a tool change. And it also means that you can actually save them out into your actual toolpaths into one file.
Exactly, yeah, which is really smart. If you can manage that and if it works for you and the materials that you're using and so on, yeah, I like that. And I know I got a little nervous when Kyle was cutting his actual mallet, because the first thing that popped into my head is I hope that he measured his tool to make sure that there was enough room between the nut on that Onefinity machine and the actual material, the depth he was going. So definitely before you cut anything like that, make sure that you know how much travel you have and how much space you need, so you don't end up having the nut on your CNC hit, or the actual your Z gantry kind of catch up on, or whatever's mounting that on there. So be really, really careful with that.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I also love that Kyle touched on the texture area tool. I think it's such an underrated.
Oh yeah, we never talk about that.
An underrated tool. So Aspire users, if you haven't used this, highly recommend that you take a look at it. We've got some videos. I'm sure Kyle will have some videos as well. But we have clip art that's specific to the texture area tool as well, don't we?
Exactly, that's right, exactly, yeah. And we noticed that Kyle actually, when he was doing his, and he didn't correct them, it's not a mistake, it's actually a really good point to learn from, is that when he was creating his toolpath, he actually overshot he did the whole workspace opposed to just the area that he wanted to. And that was because he had chosen, or he had still visible, the zero plane that was put in there. And of course, he had in his toolpath settings, limit my toolpath to the entire model, and that includes that plane. So it was great that he noticed that and actually turned it off. So if you see that happening, that's a really good thing to remember to do, to make sure you only have showing what you want it to cut.
That's right, yeah. And so Kyle also used a few different gadgets that get installed in your software, which they're not added in after, so kind of don't forget that.
That's right, exactly, that's right, really, that's good.
Yes, so really nice work there, Kyle. Thank you so much for being in the chat also, and thank you so much for your project. For those of you interested in Kyle's Academy, you can take a look at his website over at learnyourcnc.com. We've popped the link, as I mentioned earlier, into Kyle's speaker session description on our UGM website.
Yes. So after that was Rebecca and we were showing you how we designed our sign, and I know I had a lot of fun doing it with you. It was great. And some of the top things we want to kind of pull from that, we'll kind of nail or list them off here. One is that I personally had never used Google Fonts, and Smarty Pants here knew exactly where to go find them, and so I had no idea you could even do what you did with them. So that's really great. Yeah, it's a great resource for fonts.
It is. There are lots of other resources for fonts, so Font, and there's loads of other websites. But with Google, you're sure that you can actually use them without getting into trouble.
Exactly. That's right. Good point.
But yeah, I don't think we had enough time, did we, in our video to talk about more of our inspiration behind our sign that we made. And we really wanted to look at making a sign because we've never, in the many years that we've been here, we've never actually made a sign. And we've seen so many nice signs that our users have created, which we did bring up at the start there. And so we thought, it's time for us to go and make our sign. And as you'll see in the next session, you'll see more of the sort of inspiration comes through in terms of like our toolpaths that we're using. And we really wanted to go down the sort of saloon-y, cowboy, Americana route. And I'm super impressed with how it turned out in the end.
So am I. Same here for sure. I guess some of the things we can talk about is that we, as you saw, we are really into using sheets and layers when it comes to actually designing a big project like this. So if you've never done that, or you're just dabbling in, you're doing like bigger jobs or bigger projects, then definitely sheets are your friend. Layers definitely are your friend as well to keep everything organized.
Keep everything organized. Layers, sheets. If you're using components.
Exactly. That's
levels.
Right.
And also, I noticed we did have a few questions on keyboard shortcuts as well.
That's right,
so you can access your keyboard shortcuts from the help menu, and it'll list them all. There were some good ideas actually about someone turning them into mouse mouse. So if you make one, happily send one.
Please do. Exactly. We'd love to have one. That would be great. For sure. One of the things I had a chance to touch on too during our video was some of the new enhancements we've added to our 3D view, which Edward and I talked about earlier. Where when drawing a rectangle, we've got some extra ways to or quicker ways to modify that in the 3D view, which is nice. And being able to create those stars, let me tell you, those little floating properties. Oh yeah, little dialogues. You can just type it in and off you go. It makes life a whole lot easier for you. So definitely explore the 3D view when you're doing flip. As soon as you open up your software, jump to the 3D view and start there. And that way you'll get the chance to actually see all these new things that we've been doing there that I'm sure you'll really appreciate in the end.
Yes,
I have one last one, only because this is
on our session, on
our session, exactly, that's right. And this is the one that I think people forget about a lot, and is that when you go ahead and convert your text from a font into curves, you don't have the ability to go back and actually edit that. So you make a spelling mistake or you're not happy with something about it, then you're kind of in a bit of a spot. So definitely what I'd suggest you do is either, well, for me, this is what I do, is I make a copy of it off my sheet, and then I always have that as a text in the text format. So if something does go a little haywire on me, I can always go back to that, which is
that's a really good tip.
I like that. I'm the worst speller in the world, I think, so it certainly does help me a lot. Let me tell you, it's great.
Oh dear. Cool. Well, we've got our part 2 coming up later, which we'll
right.
come back to shortly. So everything that you've seen so far today, the files are included in our Vectric user group meeting bundle, which you can access from the shop. And that also includes the 3D clip art that we mentioned in our session. I know someone asked that earlier. So you get all the 3D clip art. There's also a 2D sign layout clip art as well. So yeah, go check that out. You can see on the shop section what's included in that.
Exactly, that's right, yeah, for sure. And yeah, so while you were taking in those presentations, we had a chance to actually cut the dinosaur, the AI model that Edward had made, and also the Vectric sign that he made in Spark. And I think you can see they turned out really nice in the end. Lots of depth in that T-Rex. It looks really good. And then also the V carving that we got from Spark turned out really quite nice too. So yeah, I have no. It's great. It worked out really well.
Nice.
Yeah, really am pleased with how that dinosaur worked out.
It's impressive.
Yeah, it's really neat. Yeah,
really nice.
Really
and
good.
obviously you've seen Edward demonstrate that earlier, and we literally just whipped it up
Yeah.
in a matter of an hour.
It's very neat, yeah. And to see the quality, you know, we hang our hat on our ability to do really good V carving, and to see how good it turned out on that little sign that Edward made with Spark is really, it's really good to see. It's really nice. Well done.
Yes.
Yes.
Todd, I knew this question would come up.
Oh, what's this now?
Someone's asking us where we can get our blue hoodies from.
These ones,
Well, we're going to send you our bank details.
do you want this one? I don't think you want this one.
No, unfortunately, they're not. You can't access these. Maybe in the future, maybe if enough of you say anything, maybe someone can figure that one out for us.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but they are nice though. Sorry.
They are
They're
nice.
nice. Yeah, they're good. Okay.
And we're easily spotted everywhere.
That's right. Everywhere you go. Exactly. That's right.
Right then, enough chat on that. Okay then, so we have another triple whammy back-to-back session coming up. So in 20 minutes, we've got me and Todd part 2 for our signs. Then at 7 p.m, we've got a session on inlays, so normal inlays, V-carve inlays, and that's with Ryan at Cutting It Close. And then at 8 o'clock, we also have a session from Andy Bird of Andy Bird Builds. He's going to be talking all about how you can create and sell with items like from what you make on your CNC. They'll also be in the chats to answer your questions as well. And then we're going to start machining some more stuff. So if you ever want to just see what's going on our machine, just hit that Live in the Labs button. You can see everything unfold we do that. Yeah. So grab a cuppa, get some food, go to the toilet, keep chatting, keep asking questions. And we're all watching the chat, so hopefully we can address some of those questions later
Exactly,
on.
right on.
We'll see you at 9:15.
9:15. See you then.